As you saw from the title, you were probably thinking, oh wait, is Zan actually quitting? Like, did he actually hit the rock point? No, I have not hit any rock point. In fact, I have actually great news for y'all, which I'm gonna probably like bring it step by step about why I have such great news. So yeah, I'm gonna start from great news to greater news. Yes, guys, if y'all are probably thinking Sins of Fate is actually a real thing and it's actually gonna come up as a game in the future, it's a symmetrical game. Correct my English if I'm wrong, but it's a symmetrical game that me and Wolf have been working with a team. Basically, it's one of my biggest projects, which we're currently working on. And no, this is not actually a lie. In fact, this is actually more real than my life, actually, because like we have been working on so many stuffs, like the codes, the animations, the musics, which are kind of cool. And I'm actually not restricted to show any of them since I am actually the second owner, so I can actually show y'all some of the projects that we have been working on. As you can see, we have, the Net Raider skin, which is probably going to be called the strongest one since it's based out of Yuji Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen. So it's going to be a really cool skin. It might have some cool effects and all that. The second skin is about, Raven. It's going to be a skin for my character. It's not going to have a lot of details, but it's just going to be a cool avatar, like a cool skin. And the third skin is probably for a supporter character. I have not decided which character it should be, but I'm thinking its name is going to be Lila or something. And this last skin that I'm going to talk about for the Survivor, it's not actually going to be just a skin, but it could also be a character, which is actually my favorite project since I've been working on this character. I did work on this in the past, but I forgot about it, so I just went on Avatar catalog and I found it again. The name is going to be actually Icy Wasp because it's based out of my friends. Basically, his abilities, if he's a character, he could have some abilities about, the guitar or the chains, but it could also be a skin because it also has the chains like I do as a character in the Sins of Fate game. So it's actually down to y'all to choose in the comments. I'm actually gonna ask y'all to leave your opinion if it should be a skin or a character like a survivor. But basically, I would actually like to it be a character since it's gonna be really interesting to see it, like the movesets and all the new stuffs. And also we have our first and most detailed killer design yet for now, which is called the Muffin Gull. Basically, he has a special last man standing with Walk, and I find the design really, really cool and interesting since I've only seen the 2D design from the fan arts and the drawings, but seeing it as 3D is probably the most fresh design that I've ever seen from Sins of Fate for now. And this is the first character that it's not like, just blocking Sins of Fate, since Sins of Fate is actually being worked on Roblox, so most of the characters are kind of blocky with the Roblox rig avatars. But this one that we made was actually on Blender, which is kind of interesting to have. And the actual reason why the game is taking so long to actually be made, it's not because we are lazy and our workers aren't actually working. In fact, they are working so hard since in the team there are at least only 2 animators and 1 coder and some designers, and most of our team are just people who make concepts of and designs of characters, which this is the reason why the game hasn't come up yet, which I will love. I literally want to give the biggest shout out to the animators and the coder, since they are the most nicest persons I've ever met, because they are working so hard on this project, and so are we. And I also want to talk more about Sins of Fate, but I just think that the video about Sins of Fate needs a own special video since there's so much going on behind the scenes, and I guarantee you if the game comes up, it's gonna be really decent and really cool. After all, it's an indie game which is being worked by small developers in Roblox, of course. Yes, you heard it from the title. I will actually be making more animations and more gaming content because I actually finally got an iPad which I can basically work on animations and games even more faster with no lag or any issues. And I also got an Apple Pen, which I can actually make more drawings, more fan arts, and I can work easier on Sense of Fate, and I can work easier on YouTube. And like, this is the best upgrade I've ever had in my life, since like you don't have to wait anymore like a week for me to post one video. Like, you can at least wait 3 or 2 days for one video, or I can even upload one video per day, because my online motion doesn't lag anymore, my games don't lag anymore, because I worked on an Android which was laggy as heck. Like, I cannot actually swear, but because like my Android was not meant for gaming. Like, it's 5 years old. Yeah, I've been making drawings and animations on a device that was like 5 years old, and I finally got a new device that works 10 times faster than my phone. Now, I'm not gonna talk a lot about this lore, since first of all, y'all have to find out how the lore goes on, and second of all, it's gonna be really complicated. It's just about a god of perfection going to the other gods, saying that they are not perfect, nor the mankind is. Basically, no one is perfect, not even God or heaven. But basically, this is not actually real. Actually, this is not based out of real life, it's based out of my own fantasy. I just find it interesting how there could be a universe, like there could be a movie or a series or even a lore about how it explains that nothing is perfect, not even God itself. It's not a real thing, okay? Like I said again, it's like this is only for movie purposes or lore purposes. Anything that I say over here is just fantasy, and it's not real. It's just for the lore. And it's like the Mandela series. Basically, like, gods are not perfect, and there's only one god that wants to prove this whole thing, and it's actually going to be Zen. The protagonist is Zen, of course. There are also other characters who want to try to stop Zen, which is gonna be Rebel, which is gonna be the god of judgment. And basically, all of this lore, I'm actually working on it. I'm writing everything about it. As you can also see that I make a verse about it. And like I say, this is actually kind of interesting to make, since this is the first time I've ever thought, what if there's a fantasy lore that no one is perfect, nor God or nor heaven, which I'm actually gonna make it as a really interesting lore, since this is actually going to be a really interesting and a really hard lore to describe it about. Like, even I am stuttering. Like, I don't know how to explain to you how the lore goes on. Like, I have to make a special video about this too. And also, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope y'all have a fantastic day. Peace.